So moving forward is part of my goal to provide you with quality fucking content, not fucking mass produced slop, not the EA coetting ShamWow occultism of become a living dog shit, and not the dead end fucking quick fix shortcut your own soul Temple of Ascending Flame occultism. What you're going to be seeing now on is videos like these where I just have Steam gameplay or whatever gameplay run through the background, and I just read you an article or read you something that what I deem is quality and what should be served to the seekers. You guys, the true seekers, you don't deserve Temple of Ascending Fraud. You don't deserve Become a Living Meme. You don't deserve that shit. You deserve better, okay? If you're actually really in this, you've invested your soul in this, and you fucking seek after the true mysteries there, you deserve better. You deserve a lot fucking better than what is out there. So today we're going to be reading an article by the infamous, legendary, mythical creature in the making, the work of Papa Machete, aka Papa Crocodile. If you don't know who he is, he went by the name of Uncle Bearheart back in 2009. He was one of the first occultists, one of the first YouTubers actually to have his channels demonetized, censored, and taken down before having your videos taken down was cool. The title of the article is Blood Splatter and Bleed Through, my most recent musings on the Order of Nine Angles, Temple of Blood, Become a Living God, and the Abundant Life Christian School Shootings Connection. And this on from his website there, mightandmagic.com. I don't mind what that is. I just old disorganized right now. I had some clothing fall off my office chair. That's all that was. My most recent musings on the Order 9 Angles, Temple of Blood, Become Living God, Become Abundant Life, Christian School Shootings Connection by Kevin Wicks. Link to my original 2018 Temple of Blood takedown here. If there's time, I might actually read that as well. But this is important, okay? This is very important, and this proves a point why there needs to be more gatekeeping in the occult. Just like the gay and trans community, you motherfuckers, okay? And this really hurts me. This really hurts because some of my best friends are transsexual. I know someone who is a transsexual, and they are very fucking close to me. They are fucking sacred to me. They're practically my family there. But you guys did not gatekeep enough. You did not do a good enough job at keeping out the drag queen storytime pedo motherfuckers out of your scene. You did not do a good enough job at keeping the pedophile groomers out of your scene. And now look what's coming to fruition there. We're staring down the barrel of Project 2025. We're really staring down the barrel of massive, ultra-Christian, puritanical backlash. And as I've explained in the videos on my other channels, and all my videos that got deleted there, back on, the John Caprine YouTube channels of 2018, 2019, I was fucking telling you this happened. This is how the orange juice deceives. They screw justice to the wall, they screw the abuse of freedom to the wall, and then their targets, their victims, beg for dictatorship. They beg for all their rights and freedoms to be taken away. So this video there is also the big, screaming from the rooftops. There needs to be more gatekeeping in the occult. There needs to be more gatekeeping in the occult, or we could be facing something like, like no religious freedom, no freedom to practice your faith whatsoever. We could be looking at like a new Puritan fucking bullshit going on. But enough rambling. I'm trying my best to stay on topic. I'm going to try my fucking best here to stay on the article and just fucking read there, because this shit pisses me the hell off. It unbelievably pisses me the hell off there. These motherfuckers. There. Okay, I'm actually going to read the article now. Okay, link to my original 2018 Temple of Blood takedown here. And I have that open in a new tab. Where to even begin with all this? In many ways, I single-handedly got this infernal party started back in 2015. I advertised it, sending out the invites, cranked up the music, even brought the fucking snacks. For 2 decades, though, almost no one cared to show up unless, of course, they were busy ripping off my work. The parasites, talentless hacks devoid of originality, occasionally slithered in. They swayed awkwardly to the raw, unfiltered, ugly as sin, truth blaring from my speakers, only to creep out and shamelessly pawn off my ideas as their own. Yes, that includes you, Jay Dyer. That's my first time hearing of him. Oh, and hello, Mr. Alex Jones. We're all familiar with him there. I see you enjoyed sampling my synthesis, esotericism, and iconography over the years. Prime creator St. George, tip of the spear, among others. Your distant admiration does not go unnoticed, and I'm flattered. You're drawn to me because I'm the genuine article, a practicing occultist who not only studies the arcane but actively applies it in the real world. I am the rarest of the rare, and I don't just speak about tearing evil out from the roots. I get my hands bloody, making pedophiles and human traffickers disappear. I've documented these acts for nearly 2 fucking decades, and who wouldn't want to borrow from my wealth of real, gritty street credibility? I make no bones about it. I'm a necromancer, see what I did there? An expert practitioner of black magic. My knowledge of the greater and lesser keys of Solomon and the Grimorium Verum is unparalleled. My prophecies and predictions through demonic conjuration and consultation are without peer. But unlike degenerate filth who kneel to demons and devils, I serve Almighty God alone. Like King Solomon, who wore the starry and imperishable crown in service of the supreme creator or prime creator, as my secret admirer Alex Jones and I like to say it, I compel infernal powers to perform acts of righteousness. Brick by bloody brick, I build my own temple of God, a fortress against darkness as detailed in Psalm 91, regular addition to my work. Psalm 91, he dwells in the secret place of the Most High, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, fortress, my God, in him I will trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 by thy right hand, but shall come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes thou shalt behold, and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is thy refuge, even the Most High, thy habitations. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in thy hands, and thou shalt dash thy foot against, lest thy dash foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon lion and adder, young island, dragon, and snake thou shalt trample under foot. Because thou hast set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known thy name. He shall call upon me, I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him, and I will show him my salvation. All the Psalms there, before I continue, all the Psalms are cryptic hymns of monumental warfare, ancient hymns of monumental warfare, just like the Inquisition song title. Really good band, by the way. One of my favorites when it comes to American black metal. I'm not going to go into the allegations of Dagon. I'm not going to get into that right now. It pisses me the fuck off there that you see a lot of bands, sketchy bands and shit are I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it, but the Psalms are ancient fucking battle hymns, and when you recite these phrases, as Machete says it, ancient technologies begin to hum and fizzle. there. Tread upon lion and adder, tread upon snakes. Like what that means, you're literally going to trample on the lower astral. You're going to trample on parasites. You're going to squish and pop the tentacles of Cthulhu. You're going to squish and pop the parasitic fucking dark archons. You're going to fucking trample on all that lower astral bullshit. That's what it's saying. You put your faith in the absolute truth. You put your faith and you put yourself in the service of objective truth. There, you're gonna be able to move fucking mountains and do really, really, really great and fucking positive fucking things. Continuing the article, years ago, I tried to warn the public about an intelligence agency-run, satanically themed domestic terrorist recruitment program that's been festering since the 1980s. It's had many names and iterations. Why the satanic leanings? Simple. If you want to stir the juices of society's most depraved, morally bankrupt individuals, show them imagery that aligns with their sick values, offer them structure, shelter, and the freedom to debase themselves while corrupting others. In return, these filth will commit vile acts, terrorism cloaked in the promise of dark power, sex, drugs, and protection from the law. That's very fucking true. That's very fucking true there. I don't know how many of you have heard of the China show there, but like terrorist attacks is like an everyday occurrence in fucking communist China, CCP China. And this is symptoms and even greater pathology there of a greater fucking problem that's going on there. But yes, you want to stir up the nihilistic trash. You want to stir up the human garbage. Give them an outlet to get their revenge against society. Do their revenge against society attacks as they call it in China. CCP controlled China because it's such a fucking hell to live over there. It's such a fucking hell that like most people there, they get fired from their job, whatever. Like their lives are basically cooked. Their lives are over. They have no recourse. That's why there's like so much fucking knife attacks and fucking like they gotta put up fucking barriers to like stop school children from getting run over. Just stop vehicular manslaughter. Like that's how fucking bad it is. And fucking Charles fucking Schwab and these motherfuckers, Charles fucking Schwab, Peter Brabeck, this fucking CEO of Nestle. Access to drinking water is not a human right. They want to bring that shit over here. They want to bring that serfdom fucking shit, that feudalist, corporate feudalist, blended with fascism and communism. They want to bring that fucking shit over here. You better wake the fuck up. You better wake the fuck up, man. This is realer than fucking real, what's happening. But staying on topic. We have to stay on topic here. This web of degeneracy linked to rape, cannibalism, pedophilia draws from the same well as Dean Carroll, Sam Berkowitz, Richard Ramirez, Otis Toole, and Henry Lee Lucas. All of them claim to belong to paramilitary-style organizations of devil worshippers who use them as tools of terror. The blueprint is ancient, mirrored in the process Church of the Final Judgment. While Charles Manson found a unique kinship and later ties to Anton LaVey and Colonel Michael Aquino, who founded the Temple of Set, ran psychological warfare department, and was higher up in MK Ultra, recruited top Pentagon brass to join his Temple of Set. Think about that for a while. You wonder how so many false flag operations and staged terror events are waged on the American public. That's true. That's a lot to break down there. That's probably going to have to require its own separate video. I am very well aware of the Process Church of the Final Judgment. I actually own their propaganda DVD documentary. Their What is the Process? I actually own that on DVD around here somewhere. There, if I can pull out and find it. But yeah, Robert de Grimston was a very interesting character. I still don't know a whole heck of a lot about them, but yeah, they fucked up. Whatever it is they're doing, even if it was like positive intentions behind it, with Charles Manson and like the Manson killings and shit, like those guys fucked up. Those guys clearly fucked up somewhere. They clearly fucked up there. I'm not going to get into the allegations against Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan. I'm not going to get into the allegations of Colonel Michael Aquino. It's very easy with a couple of Google searches or just YouTube searches. You can find plenty of stuff on them. You can find plenty of stuff on them there. But yeah, Aquino did write the mind control manual. He did write the book on mind control there. And in Bichetti's other article there, Temple of Blood, there he calls Temple of Blood basically the second incarnation of the Hand of Death cult. Basically, like all these serial killers that are from like Florida, uh, like Henry Lee Lucas, John Wayne Gacy, um, Jeffrey Dahmer. They're all those like fucking killers, you know. They were all in Florida at like the same fucking time there, and I guess Aquino trained them all on a secret military base as the conspiracy there. I can't really comment on that because I don't know, and I don't know all that much on Aquino or Temple of Set. I can't really tell you much about that. But all this shit will be in the description. The link to this article and his original Temple of Blob article will both be in the description. Continue on. Why so many false flag? Wonder why how many false flag operations and staged terror attacks are waged on the American public. I also suspect that Aquino was a member of the Finders cult who purchased Johnny Gosch and was a major player in Vietnam's Phoenix program. I've heard hushed and deadly serious whispers from former MAC SOG to bolster the ranks of Notorious Murder Inc. and Hand of Death paramilitary cult. There we go. Vietnam's Phoenix program. Never heard of that, but I have heard of Project Wandering Soul, where basically Dr. Aquino did a massive psychological operation on the Vietnamese. He had a tape recorder and he recorded he got a bunch of like locals, or he got like the Americans or someone to basically record voice themselves like spooky ghost voices in the Vietnamese language, and basically the propaganda tapes would basically be like it would sound like the ghosts of the fallen Vietnamese, like saying, "Oh, I've died. The Americans are right. The Americans are right. Surrender to America. Put down your AK-47s. I was killed. I was killed by an American soldier. I'm lost. My soul is lost and wandering. Oh, surrender to America." You know, like that kind of shit there to like scare the shit out of the Viet Cong and basically get them to surrender. It fucking worked. It it fucking worked there. But that's all I'm really gonna say about that. Continuing with the article, I could connect Michael Aquino to Minot Air Force Base, possibly linking him with the Carr brothers, whom Sam Berkowitz spoke of, but my contact with the concrete evidence disappeared years ago. I've been vocal about my spiritual godfather's history with Michael Aquino, as well as my own esoteric battles and the not-so-esoteric conflicts against Aquino's Knights of the Black Flame and Black Trapezoid. Nearly 20 years ago, I uncovered evidence linking Pazuzu Algerad, real name John Alexander Lawson, to a sick experiment importing the ideology of MI6 agent David Mayat's Order of Nine Angles into the United States. Pazuzu's dog-shit spackled, piss-stained hellhole of a home became a magnet for human cockroaches, human sharing, needle sharing, hepatitis transmission, and murder plots were the order of the day as his deranged followers hailed Satan in squalor. Al-Jarrad clumsily mashed together elements of Satanism, Nazi propaganda, and Islamic jihad. Coincidence? No, it was a test run. Now, I have to put this on the fucking record here. Okay, I've watched the 20-minute or so Vice documentary. Yeah, fuck this guy. Fuck Pazuzu El-Jirad. Okay, and fuck him for tarnishing Pazuzu's great name. I gotta put in there. Pazuzu is the real Pazuzu is a great fucking guy, and I'm not talking about this El-Jirad motherfucker. I'm talking about the local protector deity of the Sumerians. There, Pazuzu's a great fucking guy. He is. He's not actually as scary and demonic as people think. Yes, he does have a Clepothian, a Dothic, abyssal, draconian aspect. He does have that. All the real gods and Elohim do have their dark aspects there, but Pazuzu is like basically if Archangel Michael was a furry. There, basically Hot Topic Michael, as my witch sister calls it. Basically, Hot Topic Malgoth Michael is Pazuzu, or furry Goth Pazuzu. Furry Goth Michael is what you give Pazuzu. He's a great fucking guy. There, great fucking guy. Protects children from this evil bitch fucking wife Lamash too, which is where all the fucking like legends and myths of like the Lamias and like the baby stealing fucking Lilitu creatures and like the Mormos, the Lamias, and like the crib death, like the baby stealing, child stealing monsters fucking comes from. Pazuzu protects against that shit. Pazuzu protects against that fucking shit. He's against that fucking shit. There. Fuck this El-Jirad motherfucker. So when Machete says Pazuzu, he's not talking about the Sumerian local deity, who is a great fucking guy, awesome fucking dude. He works with just about everyone. He's a great god, very very chill god, and very celestial, very elevated, very angelic as well. He's a mixed bag. He's a mixed being of both angelic and jinn. There. Remember, when you hear the name Pazuzu, just think of furry Michael. Okay, if Archangel Michael was a furry, that's Pazuzu. While El-Jirad's House of Horrors yielded only a few corpses in the backyard, I'm reading the article again. The experiment itself showed promise. The absolute dregs of society organized to commit heinous acts for political ends. Enter E.A. Coetting, a.k.a. Matthew Lawrence, in the Temple of Blood. Every bit as cringeworthy, meth-addled and disease-ridden as El-Jirad. Now the dog shit and garbage have gone digital. When and how the Temple of Blood crawled out of the gutter and took semi-permanent form remains murky. What is clear, however, is a strong ties to North Carolina, notably the cesspool that birthed Pazuzu El-Jirad, and its well-documented connections to Atomwaffen Division, the neo-Nazi terrorist organization with suspiciously deep ties to Ukraine. Talk about wearing your idiocy like a badge of honor. Supporting Ukraine is as brain dead as it gets. Do you stand with Ukraine? I stand with Ukraine! Ooh! Do you stand with Ukraine? I got my Ukrainian colored face mask. I got my Ukrainian colored face diaper on. I got all my COVID shots. And I'm wearing my Ukrainian face diaper. Do you stand with Ukraine? I had to do it. I had to fucking... Do you stand with Ukraine? Continuing with the fucking article. The Temple of Blood atomic waffle connection has been demonstrated repeatedly, with notable example being the now defunct Beast Barracks blog. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck those motherfuckers, JS Hoy is a crazy fucking bitch. I don't know. It's all down, but there was a point. I should have taken screenshots of it. So, JS Hoy is not this friendly, Hare Krishna like lady. She fucking like has a selfie of her like torturing somebody on there, like a dude like strapped to a chair with a bag over his head. She's the fucking bitch with the fucking aviator sunglasses. Yeah, that's J.S. Hoy. Um, Girlfriend, wife of Joshua Sutter. That's where the J.S. comes from. Joshua Sutter there has ties to North Korea. Now, when I talked about this to my occult friends, everyone was talking about Sutter's connections to North Korea, North Korean intelligence there, but no, it's actually feds. It's actually our alphabet soup boys who are actually in on this too. There, I can't really name names here. There, I don't want to put my witch sister or any of my people at risk there, but this shit is like fucking deeply rooted. Like it's not hard to find. It's in our own fucking backyard. I mean, you could still probably get iron gates on Amazon. I'm gonna do an Amazon search. Can you still get iron gates on Amazon there? Iron Gates Temple of Blood. Well, thank fuck. I think they took it off. They fucking took it off. What happens if I put in the search for Martinet Press? That was their fucking publishing platform. Like, you can still get some of their fucking slop. You can still get some of like the Martinet shit on there. Devil's Koran, Neil Alm sermons. That's the fucking crazy dude who did the Tokyo gas attacks. That's his fucking bullshit. Holy fuck! You can still find most of this shit on here. You can find Venom and Honey by J. Lolita Devi Dasi. That's who is also J.S. Hoy, by the way. Yeah, you can find all four Karanzan journal ones. You can find everything but Iron Gates and Bluebird. And thank goat, they finally took that pedophile shit down. They took that fucking garbage down. You stand with Ukraine? Continuing the article. The Temple of Blood and atomic waffle connection been demonstrated repeatedly, with one notable example being now defunct Beast Barracks blog. Yeah, okay, that's where I left off. From multiple reliable sources, I've heard whispers that E.A. Koetting, known to the mundane world as Matthew Lawrence, spent significant time in North Carolina. It's plausible, though speculative, that he crossed paths with Mr. Al-Jarrad at some point. While not speculative is his affiliation with Atomic Waffles. Under the pseudonym Drill Sergeant 333, E.A. Koetting contributed to the Temple of Blood's publications. Even more damning, he's admitted to now deleted YouTube interviews to performing human sacrifice and Order 9 Angles style culling rituals. Koetting, like many of his ilk, hides behind the delusion that such atrocities are the elite's acts, thinning the herd by eliminating society's so-called undesirables. The irony is blinding. If they truly sought to remove the worst of humanity, they would start with themselves. These smug, degenerate cowards are the very definition of are the very definition. I gotta stop. I'm not laughing. Okay, I don't think this is funny. This is very serious. These smug, degenerate cowards are the very definition of undesirable. Okay, and what I'm laughing about, I'm like visualizing in my mind like a fucking like emo, like a fucking emo like scene kid, from the fucking like mid 2000s. The kind of like blue haired like pink haired people, like fucking emo scene kids that we used to bully in like middle school and high school. Like I can just picture one of them with like a ski mask on with like a razor blade in like one hand and like a fucking like BB pistol or like an airsoft pistol in the other hand, like, finally, I'm a deadly assassin for the Order of Nine Angels. Like, I can just visualize like these fucking nerds, these like autistic like nerds, you know, with like fucking ski masks and like fucking airsoft guns. Be like, finally, I'm a deadly assassin for the O9A. But no, it's not funny. It's like, it's fucking serious, and like real people get hurt. Like, there are real world consequences to this fucking shit. Like, giving power to the nerds, like, we are literally in like a Revenge of the Nerds apocalyptic scenario, as we're gonna find out at the end of this article. Continuing on, Ye Coedding himself is a tragic caricature of villainy. Picture this: a sad, pasty Mormon boy from St. George, Utah, a former roadie for the band Sugar Ray, and believe it or not, a carpet cleaner. Oh my fuck, dude. That's a meme in of itself, dude. A fucking roadie for Sugar Ray? I'm not shitting on Sugar Ray, okay? They're not a bad band. They're actually all right. They're not a bad, and I'm not shitting on them or any of their fans. If you like Sugar Ray, go listen to them. Listen to whatever the fuck you want. I mean, they're not a bad band. But he was a roadie for Sugar Ray, a sad little Mormon boy, and a carpet fucking Stanley Steamer guy. I can picture this dude. You can't make this shit up. You know, you can picture like my Stanley Steamer guy like knocking on the door. It's the Stanley Steamer guys right here. Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Black Magic? Do you have a minute to talk about how to become a living god and master the universe and take over the world and shoot cows with rocket launchers? Like, that's literally what I can fucking picture in my head. You know? Do you have a minute to talk about become a living god, how you can use black magic to become a god? I mean, shit, if I was a damn carpet cleaner or whatever, I'd want to lash out too, but I'd find much healthier ways to lash out than join some stupid fucking Fed cult. You know, like, holy shit. Instead of being a roadie for Sugar Ray, why don't Cody make his own Sugar Ray, make his own band then? I don't fucking know. Alright, but continuing on, a carpet cleaner. Somewhere along the line, this nobody spiraled into become a meth-addicted Satanist and financial frontman for a pro-pedophile, neo-Nazi intelligence agency-run satanic paramilitary organization. That is a mouthful, but it fits the absurdity of his descent. His arrest for felony meth charges, complete with widely circulated mugshot, only underscores his pathetic trajectory. I can picture him like fucking talking to like the police officer that took his mugshot. Like, officer, sir, do you have a minute to talk about black magic? Do you have a minute to talk about how you can take over the world, become omniscient, omnipresent, all powerful, and literally become a living god? Like, back to the fucking jail cell, you fucking nutter. Like, I can just picture that shit. But here's the kicker. This degenerate cult of his isn't just a group of meth heads playing Dungeons and Dragons dress up. How I wish it only was, though, but it's not. It has real world consequence, real world dangerous shit. They recruit members with promises of transformation through mass murder and school shootings. The carrot at the end of the blood-soaked stick: becoming Noctulians, vampires through cruel alchemical transmutation, allegedly guided by undead alien gods. You read that right. Undead alien gods? Like, what the fuck is this shit? Are they zombie aliens? Are they like fucking like zombie fucking gray aliens? They're like deformed and shit. And are there gods at the same time? Undead gray aliens that may or may not have been worshipped fucking aeons ago, were completely forgot about? Are we talking about like some eldritch fucking Lovecraftian fucking galactic threat level parasite like the Flood from Halo Combat Evolved from the from the Halo games? Are we talking about like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. When it comes to Temple of Blobs, like actual like spiritual current and like spiritual practice, do they worship like zombie fucking greys or something? Or do they worship like the fucking grave mind from the Halo games? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, dude. Let's continue on. The sheer lunacy would be laughable if it weren't so deadly serious. This organization's grotesque combination of psychosis, propaganda, and real world violence forms a chilling blueprint for domestic terrorism. Their narrative is absurd, their methods heinous, their existence a stark reminder of the depravity lurking in the shadows. Literally, like lurking in our backyard, like lurking at home. We gotta stop this shit out, dude. And thank fuck that somebody did something about it. Machete did stomp a couple of them there. That's in the next article. And yet, the story of how a sad, laughably average little Mormon boy who was probably mad, you know, because he got bullied in school or whatever the fuck, turned into this bizarre, cross-dressing, meth-fueled avatar of depravity. Okay, don't shit on the cross-dress. There's one of my closest people and one of the people I really love. She is transsexual. The real kind. Not the fucking grifters. Not the fucking kind of like, I want the right to use the women's room. I want the right to whip out my dick in the women's restroom. No. Fuck that disgusting shit. No. Like a real transsexual who has real bodily dysmorphia, bodily dysphoria, or whatever the fuck it's called there. Turn this bizarre, meth-fueled avatar of depravity. That's one wild tale I'm admittedly curious to hear, even as I work tirelessly to drag such horrors into the light and crush them underfoot. I'm torn about whether to even touch on Coenning's, aka Matt Lawrence's, Become a Living God. The truth is, there's not much there except for more reasons to drink and further resentment for humanity. It's a dismal reminder of why cheering on the impending pole shift feels like an act of feels less like an act of cynicism and more like a necessary evil. Let it bring the human population number down to the Georgia Guidestone's directive of 500 million people. Let it do its worst. Become a Living God is or was the financial front for the Temple of Blood, that pro-pedophile intelligence agency run operation designed to recruit and entrap the morally bankrupt, intellectually stunted, disposable patsies for domestic terror. Its bait, dysfunctional marriage of Hitlerian neo-Nazi atomic waffle ideology and Lenin-esque communist pseudo-intellectual word salad. Throw in a smattering of vampire or wampire. God, that's so fucking embarrassing. Rob Zombie tier cornball Satanism and a sprinkle of dork Kali tantric nonsense, and you've got stinky cheese to lure degenerate subhuman rats and hurting more than just themselves. Doing my best to stay on topic here, not just the morally bankrupt people, but also the desperate people and also autistic people who are like naive. And I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put this on a confession to make. Like, I was interested in ToB for like all about 5 minutes of my life. Like, I did own all of like Martinet's library. I once owned Iron Gates and Bluebird. I barely got through Iron Gates. It's nasty shit. Like the whole book is just this. It's just like this Fallout New Vegas with a horror mod, praising a totalitarian regime, praising a totalitarian Stalinist North Korean style dictatorship government, and half of the fucking book is like ritually torturing a 13-year-old girl. Like, those are all it is. It's disgusting. I couldn't even start Bluebird. Like, I got like 30 minutes, like 20 pages in the fucking Bluebird, and I just burned the fucking book. I just ripped it up. I just fucking burned it. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud that for owning Iron Gates. I'm not proud at all. It's disgusting fucking pro-pedophile trash. It's disgusting fucking slop. It's disgusting trash. Absolutely disgusting. Fuck Temple of Blood. I burned Iron Gates. I ripped up Bluebird. I ripped the book into shreds. I threw them in black garbage bags and I fucking scattered them just like how Set scattered the pieces of Osiris all across the backwoods area. I had to get it out of there. I didn't want that fucking filth at my home anymore. There, but yeah, Temple of Blood is a honeypot to seek out autistic people who are just smart enough to know that something's wrong, that have a high intelligence quotient, but their spiritual quotient isn't quite up to par to notice false flags and to notice booby traps and notice honey pots and fed pots where I need to be. So the people who are just the right amount of IQ, but just the low enough SQ where they can easily be manipulated and easily funneled into these honeypots. Add that to the fucking list, and you're absolutely right, Michelle. You're absolutely fucking right. Continuing the article, here's the thing of it. These dupes are set up not just to commit the heinous acts, but to take the fall. Whether it's through a hail of police bullets or a suspiciously convenient suicide post-incident, the end game is always the same. The clown car keeps rolling and the pawns are left for the buzzards. Knowing all of this, take a moment to contemplate the fact that Become a Living God monetarily fueled this criminal idiocy. It was a crusty dumpster fire for the Temple of Blood's sloppy seconds. The teachings of that depraved cabal dripped out like baby batter out of a long-dead circus midget after a demonic bukkake fueled by meth, spite, and autism behind the abandoned Kmart. It's not just bad, it's a grotesque mockery of anything resembling dignity or reason, and that's just putting it kindly. Please don't shit on all autistic people. Not all autistic people like ToB. Not all autistic people are bad. I'm fucking acoustic, and I stand with you here. I fucking hate Temple of Blob. There, I am completely against these motherfuckers. Yeah, but let's continue on. Circa unspecified in a location that I don't quite recall, somewhere in Texas perhaps, I may or may not have brought heel to throw on a branch of the Temple of Blood, or at the very least a member instrumental in kidnapping, rape, and torture of a girl in North Carolina. This wasn't just violence for violence sake. This was systemic, cold-blooded horror. Beating her with a section of rubber hose as detailed in some Khmer Rouge-inspired torture manual, a grotesque nod to Pol Pot. Her flesh split open from the swelling and trauma, and even now she is so shattered by the experience that she cannot even function in society. That actually happened. That actually really did happen. Temple of Blood did beat a girl with a rubber hose so badly she can't even like look at a garden hose without going into like seizures and convulsions and vomiting all over herself. Like, it's a real thing. And I think I might have an idea of what was done. That I remember from the History Channel documentary back in like 2007 or 2008. There they talked about like the Khmer Rouge and like the Viet Cong. Like they'd take a little like length of bamboo and they'd whip the soles of your feet over and again, but so much until they were completely purple, until like your heels and your soles of your feet like opened up and were just a bloody mess. Like they would like beat you under the foot for like hours and hours and hours on end. Like that's probably what happened. That's most likely what happened. A fucking child. You see, this is why there needs to be gatekeeping in the occult. There needs to be more gatekeeping, because you get these fucking psychopathic lunatics like Coetting, like Robert Minor, who want to just torture children, torture innocent people, torture little kids, all right? Little fucking kids. We didn't hurt nobody. Just kids being kids, and fucking torture them and fucking do their Khmer Rouge fucking MK Ultra shit on fucking kids there. It's worse than animals. It's fucking slime. The fucking slime need to be put the fuck down. Communist fucking slime. Need to be put the fuck down. Continuing with the fucking article here. Now, dear reader, the burden of truth rests on your shoulders. Was this a real event or merely the fictional musings of one's peculiar, vivid revenge fantasy? I leave that to you to decipher. Let's call it a story, one rooted in darkness, whispered on the winds of cold justice. Here's the thing. If you're the kind of loathsome, degenerate, subhuman cockroach who aligns themselves with the goals and ambitions of the pro-pedophile domestic terrorist funding Temple of Blood, encouraging school shooters, serial rapists, or its inbred retarded cousin become a living god, you should really tread carefully. Maybe, just maybe, you have good reason to fear who and what might be stalking you, especially now in Trump's America, because out there somewhere there could be one or more super strong, exceptionally skilled Jack Reacher like vigilantes, big solid shadows who move with intelligence, connections, and possess an appalling penchant for bone crushing violence, a reckoning, a force of cold, messy, reptilian brain justice cloaked in the guise of brutal vengeance, a storm that doesn't stop until its filth has been completely swept away. This may all be fiction, or maybe not. That's for you to figure out. Perhaps I'm behind you right now. You looked. You should look again. Never forget that we own the night. Fuck around, find out. Dog will hunt. I will include a piece I was working on but never fully finished to add further context. Now this is where it's really sad. This is where it really gets fucking tragic. Okay, this is where it really gets fucking tragic here, because we're about to talk about a recent attack that happened just last year there. A co-editing whose monetary-driven, irresponsible writings influenced the murder of two sisters have been permanently removed from YouTube following an investigation by the BBC. Co-editing, whose real name is Matthew Lawrence, hails from Utah and has a criminal record that includes drug and weapon possession charges. His poisonous influence has reached Danielle Hussein, a 19-year-old who brutally murdered Biba Henry and Nicole Smallman in a park in Wembley, North London in June 2020. Hussein, sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 35 years, claimed during his trial he had made a demonic pact, the pact involving sacrificing women in exchange for wealth and power. The court heard chilling details of Hussein's beliefs, shaped in part by his activity in a cult forum run by co-editing Become a Living God. Hussein's post on the forum up until mere hours before his arrest, BBC revealed. Now this, the Hussein attack, that's going to require its own separate video. I am going to have to do a video on that, but long story short, it was this Iranian kid living in the United Kingdom, most likely a rape-fugee, one of the fucking Calgary plan fucking rape-fugees from fucking Somalia or Iran or fucking Pakistan or any of those like shithole third world Islamic fucking countries there. He was a rape-fugee who wanted power, so he found Become a Living dog shit. And he got the idea in his head that if he made a murder pact with Lucifuge Raphael, who is a very high-level demonic intelligence associated with the Grimoire Verum, associated with the Grand Grimoire. He's also a local deity in Primal Craft. He is a local deity there mentioned, and has a ritual work in the newest semi-deluxe edition of the Red King, which requires its own separate video. But absolutely fuck that Hussein motherfucker. I can tell you straight up that Lucifuge Raphael rejected him and rejected his pact. Because think about it. He did not get anything he wanted. He did not get any wealth. He didn't get any of the fortune. He basically just ruined his own life. He ruined 3 lives, actually. He killed 2 innocents, and he ruined his own life. That should tell you everything that you need to know. Lucifuge Raphael, the real one, not the Temple of Ascending Flame egregore, not the Become a Living God egregore, but the real Lucifuge Raphael rejected Hussein's pact there. Because it's evident he did not get what he wanted. He just ruined 3 lives. killed 2 people and ruined his own life. Continuing with the article, though. Coetting's works, infamous for encouraging acts of violence against the innocent and those weaker than yourself, include texts that advise studying terrorist methodologies. One of his most disturbing quotes Ian Brady, the Moors murderer, who tortured and killed 5 children in the 1960s. This text, commissioned for the American Satanist group Temple of Blood, aligns Coetting's ideologies with the sinister Order 9 Angles. Order 9 Angles have been implicated in multiple UK terrorism cases, solidifying its reputation as a breeding ground for depravity and violence. Hussein's actions were not isolated incidents of occult fascination gone awry. They are symptomatic of the festering malignancy that groups like Temple of Blood can represent. Their so-called teachings are bait for the vulnerable and deranged. And I'm going to add this to the list of desperate. Warping minds and weaponizing them in the name of nihilistic destruction. Coetting's involvement, actively encouraging this sickness through his platforms, marks him as a vector for thuggish evil, not enlightenment. Coetting's reach extended far beyond Hussein, with over 85,000 followers on YouTube and thousands more on Facebook before all of his accounts were terminated. His influence was alarmingly pervasive. Social media platforms have only now begun to grapple with the dangerous reach of such individuals. The BBC's investigation, which provided critical evidence against Coetting, forced a belated reckoning with the digital amplification of his dark, destructive ideas. The case of Daniel Hussein and the removal of E.A. Coetting from mainstream platforms should serve as a wake-up call. Coetting's vile rhetoric and alignment with organizations like Temple of Blood highlight the intersection of occult extremism and real-world violence. While Coetting may now be silenced on social media, the damage he and his writings have caused continues to ripple throughout the lives of his victims and their families. His downfall is long overdue, but the battle against such malign influences is far from over. Kevin Wicks. The financial frontman for the pro-pedophile, mass murder-worshipping recruitment arm for school shooters, child rapists, Temple of Blood, E.A. Coetting, real name Matthew Lawrence, boasted an audience of 85,000 followers. The size of this festering malignancy on the moral fabric of humanity is staggering as it is repulsive. Cartoonishly evil doesn't even begin to cover it. Imagine 85,000 useful idiots fawning over terrorist doctrine and celebrating the systemic victimization of women and children. Always the women and children, isn't it? The most vulnerable among us, targeted for the pursuit of power and money? Aren't these modern-day Bolsheviks supposed to be above such capitalist vices? The word pathetic feels inadequate, struggling to encompass the profound depths of disgust and disappointment that stirs within me, and yet, when you peel back the layers of this grotesque phenomenon, an unsettling truth emerges. Among those 85,000 followers are likely countless liberal leftists, the Trump is not my president crowd, individuals who would pride themselves on their so-called progressive tolerance and feminism. One might expect their supposed values to clash with targeting women and children for capitalist vices like power and money. But herein lies the rub. Progressive neoliberalism isn't what it pretends to be. It's a facade, a hollow virtual signal, masking a deeper, darker agenda. It has little to do with women's empowerment and everything to do with erasing biological women altogether. By hoisting men in dresses and onto pedestals of untouchable special otherness, they create a new superclass, a grotesque parody of equality and children. They're nothing more than a commodity, whether sold to pedophiles or harvested for biomedical and military research. Their exploitation is both profitable and normalized. Abortion, once framed as a right, now stands to prove the satanic sacrifice in this world view, a ritual transaction where the devil's asshole serving as an endless ATM, provided of course you're willing to go to ATM or ass to mouth your devil worshipping, ass kissing sycophancy. The Temple of Blood, Become a Living God, Klingerons seem all about that ATM lifestyle. This isn't hyperbole, it's the logical endpoint of society spiraling into moral bankruptcy. E.A. Coetting and his ilk are not anomalies, they're symptoms. Symptoms festering rot metastasized in every corner of our culture. The Temple of Blood is just one pustule in a larger plague and 85,000 followers are a stark reminder of how far that plague has spread. 85,000 super spreaders of a pandemic of self-centered mass psychosis and hypocrisy. That said, the stage is now set to revisit why I dragged that ancient horse corpse out of the grave to mercilessly kick it once more. On the afternoon of December 16th, 2024, that is like just merely 5 months ago, 4 months ago, a mere 6 days ago of this post writing, I was alerted to a sudden surge of traffic on my 2018 blog post about the Temple of Blood, hosted on my Might and Magic website. The numbers were staggering and unprecedented, but the reason for the spike was nothing short of tragic. Later the same day, I learned that Natalie Lynn Samantha Rupnaw, a now 15-year-old girl described by some as troubled and potentially autistic, had opened fire at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Armed with a handgun, she wounded 6 individuals, 2 of them critically. Before turning the weapon on herself, she succumbed to her injuries. And there's a photo there. Natalie Rupaw's selfie wearing the same Katie FMK shirt as the Eric Harris, the Columbine shooter. So they're both wearing the same shirt. Isn't that very interesting? These fucking school shooters they're always like wearing the same shirt ever. Or maybe she was a copycat killer. Maybe she was one of those who like idolized the Columbine motherfuckers. A flare of recognition lighted up in my mind, sharp and visceral. Natalie Lynn Rupnaw, her act of soon-to-be politicized violence, the Biden-Harris administration didn't miss a beat in demanding for more gun control. Grab the guns, gotta give up your guns, goy. And the Abundant Life Christian School had somehow been inspired by the Temple of Blood or become a living God, whether directly or indirectly. The connection was there, faint yet undeniable. It came as a fleeting specter, shadowy presence darting across my psychic periphery, momentarily illuminated by that grim realization before vanishing back into the void. As the hours passed and the hive mind of online researchers combed through Rupnaw's now digital footprint, the truth came to light. And my intuitive suspicions were confirmed. Her social media handle bore the unmistakable stain of Temple of Blood. Her posts and screen names brazenly showcased allegiance to their now twisted ideologies and even hinted at connections to pro-pedophile organizations. This wasn't mere speculation. The evidence was there, bold as blood on a pale canvas. Horf E is identified as Rupnaw X's handle, Temple of Blood, with zeros instead of O's there, at Temple of Blood. And if you click the link there, the Twitter link still works. Yeah, the account isn't down, it's still up there. Another account followed by the shooter was at Groidcell, now suspended, was actively following accounts affiliated with the 764 pedophilia network. 764, I've heard about that. There was something on the news about 764. Holy fuck. Holy shit, there was something on the news about that shit just the other week. Holy fuck. There's even a Wikipedia page on it 2 days ago. 764, previously CVLT or cult, and the subgroup of the COM, the COM, is a decentralized, Satanist, neo-Nazi, transnational sextortion network that is reportedly adjacent to the Order of Nine Angles of far-right satanic terrorism. That's a fucking mouthful. Holy shit. Continuing with the article, affiliated with the 764 pedophilia network. However, the most direct link to these groups come from Rupnav's suspended Telegram account, Cross6er, linked to a 764 Telegram channel. Another act of domestic terrorism, another violent atrocity born of this neo-Nazi, Marxist, Leninist, commie, satanic hybrid monstrosity. It's fucking ridiculous. How does something so cartoonishly evil continue to ensnare the vulnerable and the desperate? That one is easy. Look no further than Operation Northwoods and the CIA's never-ending mission to recruit social degenerates to run staged terror attacks on the American people, to unravel the moral fabric of America, disarm the population, and install centralized, despotic, authoritarian rule. The Temple of Blood's own self-published literature, Iron Gates, sexualizes, romanticizes, and glorifies the horrors of such totalitarian superstate. Their stated goal is to bring about using mass murder, school shootings, rape, kidnap, torture, and sinisterization. Sinisterization is performed via infiltration, co-opting, and corrupting existing clubs, groups, local governments, churches, and organizations, steering them towards evil means and ends. The burning question ought to be, how much longer do we have to watch the shadows grow darker before we shine the light bright enough to obliterate this ideological insanity entirely? Rupnav's actions are a symptom of the festering cancer that is the Order of Nine Angles, Temple of Blood, become a living god. Her story isn't just tragic, it's an indictment of the insidious allure these organizations wield. They prey on the broken, twisting their pain into a politically sharpened weapon aimed at society's heart. And until we confront this madness with unrelenting force, there will be more Rupnavs, more E.A. Coettians, more Daniel Husseins, more violence, more innocents' lives shattered in the name of their vile creed. Kevin Wicks. I added the Daniel Hussein to list there, the last segment. But I'm going to end this now with this following comment there. Fuck these monsters. If you're Temple of Blood, fuck you. If you sympathize with them, fuck you. If you support these terrorist motherfuckers, fuck you. I remember what I wanted to say. So Yuri Bezmenov, in his documentary, which is, you should fucking go watch it while you can, while it's still on YouTube, Deception Was My Job. Yuri Bezmenov, a former KGB employee, his job was creating propaganda. His job was creating fake like stages and fake like sets for the Kennedys, for the FDRs, for like the presidents, you know, to go on and deceive them, just like that North Korea parody movie, The Interview. Just like that movie, The Interview, there where you go in and you're taken into like fake stores, like fake villages, and like all these paid actors to act like North Korea is fucking awesome, to act like, you know, communism is great. Look at all the happy, totally not actors. Look at all the happy slaves. Look at all the happy slaves who are not being coerced, who are obviously not actors. Look at all the happy slaves. Look at these totally not fake stores, these completely real stores there. And look at how great communism is. Bezmenov was one of those guys. Bezmenov was in charge of setting up those sets and stages for the fake tours, for the propaganda tours, to gaslight and deceive and manipulate world leaders, American presidents, and even European leaders into thinking, oh, maybe communism isn't so bad. Communism is fucking great. Okay? You better wake the fuck up. You better wake the fuck up here. But Bezmenov, in his segment on how to brainwash a nation, there are 4 steps to brainwash a nation. The first one is demoralization. The second one is destabilization. Okay, the third one is crisis, and the fourth one is where they come to a solution where everyone just begs for a dictatorship. Everyone just ends up begging, screaming, we hate freedom, we hate rights, please take our rights away. Like, demoralization, we have been in demoralization for the past 20 to 40 years. Okay, 20 years is probably being a little too generous here. We've been in a demoralization phase. Now with like the Antifa attacks in Black Bloc and these motherfuckers who like burn down targets and burn down small businesses, fuck you, by the way. We are in the crisis and destabilization phase. We are between stages 2 and 3 right now, just before Trump got elected. We were in like stage 3. We were in the destabilization, the crisis phase here. Now, this is a symptom of moral decay. It's a symptom of demoralization. I mean, it's really a lot to unpack here. I mean, there's really a lot. Like, why would a Rupnaw or a Daniel Hussein be drawn or attracted to a Temple of Blood? Why would they be attracted to an Order 9 Angles? Why would they be attracted to that revolutionary shit? Anyway, and it's going to sound very, very controversial, but I can straight tell you this much there. It's all has to do with the erosion of art, the installation of ugly artwork. All our aesthetic, beautiful fucking statues have been taken down. Our Roman, Greek, and Roman sculptures, statues. All our buildings are fucking hideous. All our like buildings are like this brutalist, like communist, like fucking cube. The Saturnian like fucking cubes everywhere. You know, nothing's aesthetically pleasing anymore. Everything is fucking ugly. Like everything is ugly as fuck. There. We work more in this end stage crony corporatist capital that's masquerading as capitalism, this crony corporatist pretend capitalism. There, we're working more than even the serfs did in the feudal systems, where they only work 3 or 4 days a week. Most people gotta work 6, 7 days a week just to fucking get by and have 2 jobs. Or even 3 jobs just to fucking scrape by. Like, society, and what's being done with the monetary system, with the money manipulation and the culture manipulation and the political manipulation and the temporal manipulation and distortion and triangulations of reality is completely fucked. What's going on, what's completely fucked. You see, it's designed to break you. It's designed to turn everyone eventually into a Rupnaw or a Daniel Hussein. They want us to tear each other apart. They want us to go crazy and do revenge against society attacks. They want to break us down. And not everyone is created equal. You know, some people are stronger than others, and some of the weakest links, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. You know, a bridge is only as strong as its weakest cable there, as its weakest joint there. And basically all the pressure, you know, from all directions, the vice grip is being tightened, you know, so the weakest links, the Rupnaws and the Husseins, are the first to snap, are the first to go. Okay, and then you have your Colin Bean, your Eric Harrises and Dylan Klebold's, and your fucking Virginia Tech motherfuckers, your Boston Bomber motherfuckers. You have all this crazy fucking boogaloo lunatics that go full fucking bonkers. Listen, I get it. I get society is hell to live in right now. It's very hard to get by right now. It sucks to live in, corporatist, crony capitalist America right now. It sucks to live in crony corporatist, crony capitalist Europe right now. Things are fucking tough, but that is no justification whatsoever. No justification whatsoever for these terror attacks. Okay? You fucking terrorist attack motherfuckers, okay, you terrorist motherfuckers, your anger is misplaced. Your anger is misplaced, and you're causing more harm, a lot more harm, than any fucking good. You're actually doing what the social engineers want you to do. You're playing in their fucking hands. And this is why now more than ever, we need to expose this shit. We need to scream the words of Yuri Bezmenov. We need to take Yuri Bezmenov's interview and blare it on every fucking megaphone and every fucking loudspeaker that we can get, that this shit is actually happening. We're in the middle of it right now. And our freedom, our way of life is under threat by these George Soroses, by these Klaus fucking Schwabs. And I'm even going to add Peter Thiel to the list. I am not a fucking Trump worshipping MAGA nutter, but I don't have Trump derangement syndrome either. This is all coming from a truly patriotic, neutral perspective. When someone who is more libertarian there and believes the best kind of government is a government who governs least. We really should be beyond, government by now in our level of consciousness there. But if government really is a necessary evil, then, we should look into Otto von Bismarck. We should look back to the distant past. We should look back at the wisdom councils and the benign monarchs, the benign rulers of the ancient pagan past, of the Box saga and the Box, before the Christian church came in and fucking murdered everybody, murdered the Box, murdered the goat people, and put in their fucking triangulation, which is still communism, albeit a conservative communism, a right-wing communism. Going back to what I'm saying here, we need to wake up. We need to fight this shit. We need to fight this distortion. We need to fight the triangulation of reality by these billionaire motherfuckers who want us to own nothing and be happy. One of them says you'll own nothing and be happy. The other one wants to regress us back 250 years, back to like a Puritan Pilgrim fucking type of society. And that's not a solution either. That's just as retarded as iron fucking gates. The only difference is that one of them is a satanic pedophile shit lib, and the other one is a fucking Puritan witch burner. They're both retarded. We need to evolve beyond the concept of government. We need to evolve beyond the triangulations. We need to evolve beyond the lockdowns, beyond the distortion and triangulation of reality. But read your fucking Yuri Bezmenovs and fucking spread that fucking shit, okay? Demoralization is a real thing, okay? What we're seeing today, these terror attacks, is a symptom of demoralization. In other words, when you're demoralized, when society is just that intolerable, when society is that much fucking hell to live in there, then you know that your country's been successfully demoralized. We need to stand up. We need to fight the demoralization. We need to get caught up to speed. You ever fucking notice how, like, even like 1800s, like 17th century, like rain gutters were aesthetically pleasing? Like, even fucking rain gutters were fucking beautiful. Even your fountains, even your houses were fucking beautiful to look at. And now everything's all this like brutalist fucking shit. You have this splatter fucking art. You have this pile of dog shit, scrap metal fucking garbage art. This is all in the communist fucking playbook. This is all, they do this to every communist fucking country. They destroy the art. They destroy the music. They destroy the economy. They destroy the business. They make it as difficult as possible to live. They push drugs and alcohol. They push degeneracy there. They take out all the beautiful, aesthetically pleasing gutters and replace it with the brutalist fucking shit. They take out the aesthetically pleasing architecture, the aesthetically pleasing European villages and European houses, and replace it with this ugly, brutalist fucking gulag looking buildings, gulag looking cities. They're like, this is actually happening. You need to get taken up to speed on Yuri fucking Bezmenov. Remember his fucking name. Type him into YouTube right now, Yuri Bezmenov. Deception was my job. And go unfuck yourself right now and listen to that full interview. Listen to the full fucking interview. Wake the fuck up.